Welcome viewers. I am G. Mahesh from the National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources. We will be talking about technology management. This is module number 30 of the paper on management of library and information centers. Friends, this is a technology age. We know that technology is all around us and we carry technologies with us. Sometimes it makes us wonder whether we are managing technology or is technology managing us. Now, when you come to libraries, we know that technology has made very deep inroads into libraries and information centers. And if you look at the evolution of libraries that have been age-old institutions, the evolution of libraries from traditional library to automated library to digital library to virtual library and so on, in all these stages of evolution, we see the impact of technology. However, this technology that we speak of, the technology that has facilitated the evolution of libraries, have largely been information and communication technologies. But we should also remember that in libraries, there have been technologies that are not necessarily information and communication technologies. If you look at the microfilming technology that have been there, or even the simple photocopying and other photographic techniques or technologies, these have helped libraries and its users in a very major way. But when we talk of technology management today, we largely talk about the information and communication technologies in libraries. So in this discussion, we will be highlighting the importance of managing technologies in libraries, the need for managing technologies, and also some of the issues in managing technologies in libraries. When we talk about technology management, the first stage or the first step in technology management is planning. Now, planning, as we know, is something we do for any activity that we embark on in libraries, or for that matter, for any activity that we undertake. Now, planning is an activity that is largely futuristic in nature, and to ensure that right actions are performed at the right time towards achieving a larger goal. So the whole idea of planning is that our needs, requirements, and activities that are to be performed in future are carried out in a smooth, efficient, and effective manner. Now, technology management requires planning so that efficiency and effectiveness remain the foundations on which the library-oriented technology operations are carried out by the staff and the users of the library. So when we talk about planning for technology management, the first aspect is technology assessment. We need to assess the technology that we have in the libraries. This can be considered as the first step, that is, technology assessment as the first step for planning for technology management. The current and prevailing technology management in library has to be assessed. And for this, what we can do is create an inventory of the current technologies available in the library, their dates of inception, the present state, and all other aspects of the current technology needs to be documented. So once this is documented, we are clear of when the technology was installed or implemented in the library, and this will help us assess the life of the technology and when the technology is due for upgradation or is due for maintenance or due for replacement. The future requirements also need to be assessed based on the library's future plan. Every library and information center is on a growth path. There are shifts, definite shift that is happening. Resources are changing from print resources to electronic resources. So this definite shift in the from print to electronic resources is dependent largely on the ICT based technology in libraries. So as we migrate our resources, as we have new softwares and hardware for the users and for managing library processes, the assessment of the available technology and the assessment of the future needs need to be documented. In the process of assessment, feedback of users and interaction with other libraries can also help. We discussed about creating or preparing inventory of current technologies in the libraries. Along with the creating inventories, or in addition to creating the current inventories, it would be very helpful to have the feedback of users and also to visit other libraries or take inputs from other librarians so that the assessment process can be consolidated or strengthened. In addition to the physical equipment, the manpower available in the library or the future manpower requirements vis-a-vis data backup, security, maintenance, etc. also need to be planned ahead so that management of technologies in libraries become easy. Technology upgradation is very important in technology management. We discussed that technology assessment as being the first step, and as an offshoot of technology assessment, or as a logical step, as a logical next step of technology assessment, we have technology upgradation. When to discard, change, or upgrade a technology is a challenging question that the librarians or the libraries are faced with. We know that information and communication technologies, computers, other hardware, software, these get outdated rather quickly. The challenge that the libraries are faced with is how long to retain an older technology. There is no definite answer to this question. The answer depends on the need for technology upgradation and, more importantly, the availability of funds, the availability of financial resources. In most libraries in the country, the availability of financial resources and availability of the skilled manpower are the determinants in having technology or upgrading technology in libraries. Having old technology or older technology in libraries requires repairs, and they are susceptible to failures more often than the new technologies. Now, such failures, they lead to downtimes, which affects the operations, library operations, and it also leads to user frustrations, because today the library users are technology savvy. They prefer to use the technology for their reading and knowledge improvement. So any problems with technologies or any failure of technology can lead to user frustrations and eventually loss of library users. So the older technologies cannot definitely accommodate the new and lower cost features and functions designed to enhance productivity of the libraries and also to keep up with the user requirements. So The new technology that the libraries would have owing to technology upgradation not only brings with it the required robustness, but also opens up potentialities for new users through the availability of new functions. In addition to technology upgradation, the other important aspect is technology maintenance. As we mentioned, the technology upgradation may not be frequently possible. It may not be even possible to upgrade technology with the rapidity with which the technology itself get upgraded or the technology itself grows. We also mentioned that the financial resources are a determinant factor for is a determinant for technology upgradation, and with libraries having perpetual financial crunches, it is very difficult for libraries to keep up with technology. So the other alternative is to maintain the existing technologies so that there are no failures. So a library technical infrastructure is something that requires constant attention and occasional overhaul. This is true for any technology that we use, irrespective of it being library or elsewhere. We are aware of the importance that the maintenance that we need to attach to maintenance of technologies. Underinvesting in technology can weaken the performance of the organization or of the libraries. So once an investment in technology, the right investment in technology is made, it is very essential that the technology is maintained to have the users the best out of the libraries. Just as physical facilities in the libraries need to be maintained, the books or the other physical infrastructure in the libraries, including furniture, these need to be maintained. The occasional repairs and renovation, the technologies that we have has to be maintained. How do we maintain the technology? Some of the pointers for maintaining the technology is that it should be clean. Cleanliness of hardware, avoiding mishandling, identifying and rectifying obvious problems. Some of these basic attention can go a long way in maintaining the ICT infrastructure in library. And apart from that, availing comprehensive warranty, entering into annual maintenance contract, post-warranty period, and timely renewals of AMC are essential. Further, instructing the users about the do's and don'ts in handling and operating the various equipment in the library is also required. These are some of the basic aspects that can help maintaining the technology without failures for a reasonable period of time. It also depends on what kind of technology that we are taking care of. But then, importantly, one needs to remember that even if the technology is well maintained, is performing to its potential, even then there is a need for upgradation of technology after a period of time, because the new technology brings with it several advantages that the old technology cannot provide. Software. We are aware about the importance of software in libraries. There are different types of software, the custom-made software, the proprietary software, and today we talk about open source software. The different softwares have different its own advantages and disadvantages. The proprietary software that have been prevalent or common in libraries have many advantages. One is the implementation of the software, the maintenance of the software is taken care of by the software companies. But this comes with a cost. And we know that with shrinking budgets, we need alternatives. And open source software has come up as a good alternative for implementation in libraries. The open source software, of course, in addition to offering the flexibility in implementing it as per the requirement of the library, also helps by not having to spend financial resources for having the software in the library. But even for libraries that use proprietary software, version upgrades need to be done on a periodical basis or as recommended by the software. However, most libraries do not update the versions of the software despite alerts being provided by the software package for refreshing or adding patches. Without regular updating, the software will not be able to ward off attacks by bots, malware, and viruses. Missing a few consecutive updates can make it difficult to get the latest version of software. With all these problems, the libraries of today are looking at alternate solutions, most importantly having the open source software that we discussed. But then running older versions of software will mean that the library is not benefiting from the new functionality that may have been added or from where they need to be fixed and implemented. Updating the software versions, avoiding pirated software, and implementing antivirus software are essential. Indiscriminate use of thumb and flash drives and perpetual access to internet opens up possibilities for computers to get infected with viruses, trojans, spam, etc. So the software maintenance and upgradations along with the hardware maintenance and upgradation is equally important. In libraries, we have certain infrastructure which we can call them as mission critical infrastructure. The mission critical infrastructure in today's libraries is definitely the internet. And libraries have to plan to be able to manage without internet for short spells of time. Circulation and opaques, these are also critical application in libraries, and despite networks being robust with little downtime today, libraries will have to plan for disruptions. Having to fall back or having redundant system is essential, as switching over to manual methods may not be possible in the long run. We are aware of situations in some libraries decades ago when both the manual catalog as well as the opaque were parallelly operated. That was because the automated system or the opaque was not robust, and whenever there used to be a failure, the libraries used to fall back on the manual system. This has, of course, disappeared now, but most libraries should have a fallback or redundant system in the electronic format, so that some of these mission critical operations or the mission critical infrastructure are maintained without failures. When we talk about libraries, we have been discussing as libraries being growing organisms. Library is an organism, states one of the laws of library science. Now, this has been spoken about in terms of the collections in libraries, and with respect to technologies, also there can be growth in some technologies, growth in terms of the physical size in some technologies, but with most technologies we know that there is shrinkages that are happening or reduction in the size of the technologies that we use. Today, when we migrate from computers to tablets, we are definitely talking about a shrinkage or reduction in the size of technologies there. But then there are also other technologies in libraries where we talk about the requirement of more space. One of the technologies that consume space in libraries in recent years is the RFID technology. The RFID technology has several components such as the book drop box, the gates, the sorting stations, the tagging stations, the issue counter, and so on. Now, all these are devices, all these involved devices that consume space. So, despite the, the talk or the fact that the technologies are shrinking and at the same time becoming more powerful, but there are some technologies such as RFID which require more space in the library. So the planning for the space planning and technology management is very important. The traditional library learning space or the reading area had tables, chairs, or carrels with adequate lighting. Now this has changed with the need to have this space adapted for electronic devices that include electric and internet cabling or installing wireless hubs. The provisioning of these electric powered connectivity hubs would turn out to be inadequate or rendered ineffective if these are not backed by uninterrupted power supply in event of electricity supply breakdowns. So, in addition to the core technologies, space need to be planned for systems such as uninterrupted power supply. So, when you talk about technology management today, space management is also a key factor that one needs to consider. Human resource for technology management is a very important challenge or a major challenge as of today. We know that there is a inadequate skilled manpower in libraries. The skilled manpower in terms of the ICT skills, whether it is hardware skills or software skills, including the skill for implementing and managing open source software in libraries. The library courses need to be revamped so that the new age information professionals who would be working in digital libraries or virtual libraries, creating virtual libraries, are aware or are skilled about the various hardware and software technologies. Continuous learning is and has become a need for library and information professionals of today. So, for effective management of technologies in libraries also require effective human resources in libraries. Every institution today has an IT department, and in most institutions, the IT department and the library department are separate subsystems. Cooperation between the IT department and the libraries is a need of the hour so that the IT departments can help the libraries in managing the ICT infrastructure in libraries, help with the creation of digital and other kinds of libraries, and also implementing and maintaining the software in libraries. The IT department can also help libraries in providing training to the library personnel. A strong cooperation between the IT department and the library, or creation of an IT cell within the library, would be an efficient way of managing the technologies in IT technologies in libraries. A few other aspects that libraries need to take care of when it comes to technology management are the following. One, good management of technology in the library should aim at preventing downtimes at all cost. It is impossible to avoid downtimes, but then the aim should be to prevent it as much as possible by adopting measures or planning for such downtimes. Second, accidental theft or loss of devices can happen in libraries. As we have discussed, today technology is shrinking, devices are shrinking, and with that, there is a possibility of loss of devices, and there are accidental thefts that happen. The libraries should take measures to sensitize the patrons or library users about the need to take care of the devices, and this is one of the ways or one of the means or approaches to manage technology in the library. If the library is storing any critical information, these should be protected or encrypted. And the proliferation of wireless networks makes it easy for anyone to access internet, but also makes the systems vulnerable owing to wireless access points being open and available for anyone to access. So the open wireless networks may be avoided, and authorizations should be provided by library to avoid security breaches. So some of these aspects can also be considered in the endeavor to manage technology in libraries. So viewers, the discussion so far, we have tried to highlight the importance of managing technology, the need for planning in technology management, with assessing technology being the first step, and taking measures such as maintaining technology, upgrading technology with respect to hardware and software. Thank you.